A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. As Jesus went along, he saw a man who had been blind from birth. He spat on the ground, made a paste with the spittle, put this over the eyes of the blind man and said to him, "Go and wash in the pool of Siloam," a name that means sent. So the blind man went off and washed himself and came away with his sight restored. His neighbours and people who earlier had seen him begging said, "Isn't this the man who used to sit and beg?" Some said, "Yes, it is the same one." Others said, "No, he only looks like him." The man himself said, "I am the man." They brought the man who had been blind to the Pharisees. It had been a Sabbath day when Jesus made the paste and opened the man's eyes. So when the Pharisees asked him how he had come to see, he said, "He put a paste on my eyes and I washed and I can see." Then some of the Pharisees said, "This man cannot be from God. He does not keep the Sabbath." Others said, "How could a sinner produce signs like this?" And there was disagreement among them. So they spoke to the blind man again. "What have you to say about him yourself, now that he has opened your eyes?" "He is a prophet," replied the man. "Are you trying to teach us?" they replied. "And you, a sinner through and through, since you were born?" And they drove him away. Jesus heard they had driven him away, and when he found him, he said to him, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" "Sir," the man replied, "tell me who he is, so that I may believe in him." And Jesus said, "You are looking at him. He is speaking to you." The man said, "Lord, I believe," and worshipped him. The Gospel of the Lord. By chance, this weekend, we hear of one of Jesus' great miracles of healing. Obviously, Jesus didn't practice much social distancing. Here, he spits on the ground, makes a paste with his spittle, and then applies this to the man's eyes. One of Jesus' very first miracles was when he reached out to touch the leper before uttering those words which cured him, "Be clean." And that's because Jesus knew that what the man needed more than anything else was to be embraced physically, metaphorically, by those who had driven him to the outskirts. Of course, none of us is Jesus, and we are called in this time not to reach out hands physically to others, but only metaphorically. We might make a phone call or send a quick email. We can offer to another person to grab them something from the shops. All of us can reach out to others at this time without touching hands. And at the same time, we can all call on Jesus to stretch out his hand to cure those who are sick, to strengthen those who are working with the sick in our hospitals and for the sick in our laboratories, and to reach out and to heal the selfishness in our own hearts, which makes us think only of ourselves and those closest to us at this time. This, of course, might be the last weekend that we have the opportunity to gather as a community to celebrate the Eucharist. Many dioceses have already suspended public celebrations of the Eucharist, and our diocese may do the same. But that doesn't mean that the Eucharist will not be celebrated. Father Vinoj and I will continue to celebrate Mass each day and to remember in our prayers the whole parish, those who are sick, the recently deceased, those whose anniversaries occur at this time, and of course our great many brothers and sisters, part of God's family spread throughout the world, who at this time are walking through the valley of darkness. Should the public celebration of the Mass be suspended, we will provide you with an abundance of resources so that you can continue to keep the Lord's Day holy and to unite yourself spiritually with the Lord's body spread throughout the world. And one of the blessings which might come from this time is a renewed personal faith, which ultimately will enliven the faith of our whole community. I especially encourage you to make Psalm 23, which we have prayed today, your own. If you do not already know it by heart, as many of you do, take this opportunity to begin praying the psalm daily. It is a powerful reminder that no matter how dark the valley, the Lord is with us. He walks before and behind us. He is above us and beside us. With his love and his strength, he is present, so that we might not stumble as we walk on this or any other uncertain path. So now let us take a moment to hold up to our risen Lord, the Good Shepherd, those whom we know who are in need of his presence at this time. May their eyes be open to see him at their side, and may they trust in his strength and be guided by his light. Amen.